Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to today's episode of Start Being Visible with me, Mildred Talabi. I am your host for this session. Now, listen, if you are here and you're tuning in, I want you to let me know in the comments because today we are going to be talking about another element of being visible on LinkedIn. This is what this show is all about. This show is all about how you can start being visible right here on LinkedIn for the purpose of building your brand, building your business, growing your income, establishing your thought leadership. So many good things happen when you start being visible on LinkedIn. But the key word is to start. That's right. The key word is to start. And this is what this show is all about. Whether you're starting from the beginning or whether you're starting at some point halfway through, whether you're restarting, I want to help you to get the most out of using LinkedIn as a platform to build your brand and your business. So if you are joining me today, I am streaming live on LinkedIn. I'm streaming live on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Wherever you are, whatever time it is in the world, I want you to say hello. Let me know in the comments who you are, where you're tuning in from, and what time it is. What time is it where you are? Because it's afternoon right here in the UK. This weekend we swapped over to GMT. We're no longer British summertime. We are officially in winter, GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. So clocks went backwards. So we had an extra hour of sleep. How did you spend your extra hour of sleep? Hopefully on LinkedIn. Only joking, only joking. So today I want to talk about why you are struggling to generate business on LinkedIn. And I'm going to just put that title right there. Why are you struggling? Why you're struggling to generate business on LinkedIn? Now, this is a topic that I started in last week's show. This show is on every Tuesday at 1 p.m. GMT, 1 p.m. UK time, every Tuesday. So I want you to book it in your diary and come and join me every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So last week, we started talking about the subject of why you are struggling to generate business on LinkedIn. And the reason I brought up this topic and I'm talking about this topic is because in my work as a LinkedIn visibility coach, I work with a lot of women. And I speak to a lot of women who want to use LinkedIn as a platform to build their business, which is great, which is very, very, very good thing to do because you absolutely can do that, especially if you have a service-based business. If you have a products-based business, you can use LinkedIn also, but there may be other platforms which may work better for you. But if you have a service-based business, I guarantee you that this is the best platform for you. And more than likely, your target audience are right here on LinkedIn. So it makes sense that you start engaging with them. It makes sense that you start using this platform in a way where you show up for your audience and they're able to plug into the work that you do and the services that you offer. So last week, we started talking about this subject of why you're struggling to generate business on LinkedIn because from my conversations with these ladies that I work with or I speak with on LinkedIn about why LinkedIn is not working for them, I found some common threads. I like to notice patterns. And I found some common threads, some patterns in what people were saying time and time again, that was leading to them getting the results, or rather not getting the results that they're looking for on LinkedIn. So that's what we started discussing last week. That's what the topic was last week. And if you were here last week, and if you tuned in live or you watched it on replay, give me a shout out in the comments. Let me know. Let me know if you were here last week. And so let me know what your key takeaway was from last week. But just as a quick recap, the first two reasons I had 10. Listen, I had 10 to share, and I got through two reasons. Two reasons. So hopefully today we're gonna get through a little more than two reasons, or at least we'll go as long as we need to, right? To help you get the transformation that you need to start being visible on LinkedIn. So last week we spoke about two things that we spoke about, that the reasons that you're struggling to generate income on LinkedIn. Number one is that you think it's supposed to be easy. Now this is all about this whole idea of everything is supposed to be easy, right? If you look on the internet, if you go on, if you read enough self-help books and inspirational biographies and all of that, sometimes it gets you thinking that people become overnight successes. That it's like somebody just starts on LinkedIn and then 6 months later they're blowing it up and they're making millions off LinkedIn, 6 figures in 6 days, all of that kind of stuff. So we get into this idea, into this mindset that it's supposed to be easy. So when it's not easy, when we hit those obstacles that inevitably come, we wonder what happened. What happened? This wasn't part of the script. This isn't in the easy part of the script. So that was one of the reasons that we talked about last week, why you might be struggling to generate business on LinkedIn. So reframe that. It's meant. If you think that it's meant to be hard and then it happens to be easy, then that's easy to work with. That's a good problem to have. But when it's the other way around, it can be so discouraging. Trust me, I'm talking from experience. So that was number one. Number two that we covered last week, and why you're struggling to generate business on LinkedIn, is that you are still buying into the old mindset of, what is it that what's the saying, spray and pray. Spray and pray, where you're just hitting up as many people as you can in the inboxes and sending random cold messages. Listen, the cold outreach method, it's really, if it's not already there, it's at the very end of his line, of his lifeline. Okay, it works for some people. It works for some people, but it is a lot of work to make it work. And I think there's a better way. And I may be slightly biased because I'm a LinkedIn visibility coach, but I think the visibility approach is a much better way to do business and to generate, especially if you want to create the kind of business that you actually like, that you enjoy doing, and create the kind of clients that you like working with. Especially if you want business to be smooth, whereby you are attracting your ideal clients and they are coming to you. They are drawn to you rather than you chasing them all the time with a stick over the head saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. You want it to be the other way around, where you're oversubscribed and they're chasing you, saying, I want to pick you, I want to pick you, I want to pick you. This is not a fairy tale. It happens. Honestly, if I show you behind the scenes of my inbox and my DM messages and that I get from people, Mildred, I'm ready to start being visible. Mildred, how can we talk about being more visible on LinkedIn? Can you help me? Let's get on a call. All of that stuff, it happens on a regular basis because I have spent time building my visibility on this platform. And this is what I want to help you to do. Really build and establish your personal brand and your visibility right here on LinkedIn so that you can generate good business from LinkedIn. Okay, so that was last week. So last week, as I said, the second one was about so still working with that old school mindset. So this week, we're going to talk about some new stuff. We're going to talk about some new obstacles. We're going to push through some new obstacles that may be the reason why you are struggling to generate business on LinkedIn. So if you are watching live on replay as well, you can put this in. If you're watching live, if you're watching on replay, I want you to let me know in the comments what your biggest struggle is. What is your biggest struggle? Just a few words. Doesn't have to be an essay, but what's your biggest struggle? What do you find the hardest about generating business on LinkedIn? So while you're doing that, I want to tell you about something that's very, 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 very important, because I don't just want to tell you this and leave you at a place where you're thinking, oh my God, Mildred, what do I do next? What do I do next? So I am doing a free LinkedIn masterclass. If you have not seen it already on my post by now, I posted about it. I put it everywhere on LinkedIn. It's on my banner. Go check out my banner. It's on my featured. But listen, I am doing a free LinkedIn masterclass on Wednesday, the 10th of November. That's next Wednesday, the 10th of November, a completely free LinkedIn masterclass. This isn't one of those quick and drop stuff. I'm going in. It's a 4-hour session. So I'm going to be talking about some stuff, and it's completely free. Did you hear me? I said it's completely free. I've got close to 100 people signed up at the moment. So, and I'm actually going to have to cap it because my Zoom room only holds 100 people. So I am thinking I'm going to have to close the doors very, very, very soon, so give or take, sometimes people don't show up on the stuff. So let's give or take a few 10 or so, but then I'm going to have to close the door because I'm close to 100 people signed up already for this event. If you want to be part of it, go to startbeinvisible.com/masterclass. Startbeinvisible.com/masterclass. It's a free masterclass where I am going to be teaching you everything you need to know and about how to build a visible and profitable business on LinkedIn with no advertising budget, zero advertising budget, and no direct spammy cold outreach messages that no one likes those. No one likes them. You don't like them. No one likes them. We're not going to be doing that. We are going to be talking about doing this through the Be Invisible approach. So go and sign up, startbeinvisible.com/masterclass, free LinkedIn masterclass next Wednesday. It's 11 a.m. GMT, that's UK time, to 3 p.m. And there is an option. Listen. Oh my God, I have to tell you about the VIP option, right? If you want to come, you can attend for free, general on the Masterclass, which is great. You're still going to get so much value out of it. But if you really, really want to take this to the next level, I want you to look at signing up to the VIP, because with the VIP you get to stay along an extra hour with me, and we go through Q&A specifically to your business. And more importantly as well, I'm going to be doing some hot seat profile, LinkedIn profile coaching. So I'm going to take a look at your profile and give you feedback, quick and instant feedback in front of everybody that you can apply, that you'll be able to use to get you on the move to the next step. Now, listen, people pay me big money for this. This is usually worth $297, to do that kind of consultation with me, to get that feedback and the Q&As. The VIP, if you upgrade to that, is £47. So go to startbeinvisible.com/masterclass. That's going to be 10 people only that's going to get the LinkedIn profile hot seat coaching. Once those 10 are done, I can't take any more. Else we'll be there all day. So if you want to, go and sign up today. But listen, okay, we are going to talk about hi. I've got my highs in the comments. It keeps saying up as LinkedIn user, but hey, LinkedIn user says yes, knowing the right words to engage my target audience. LinkedIn user says yes. I know that's not your name, but yes, knowing the right words to engage my target audience. Absolutely. This is the kind of stuff that we're going to talk about in the masterclass at startbeinvisible.com masterclass, which is next Wednesday. How the words, engaging your target audience, because that is super important. But okay, so yes, you're coming. Good. I look forward to seeing you there. But okay, so let's go back to this. Why you're struggling to generate business on LinkedIn. So today I wanna talk about two things that are kind of interrelated about why you're struggling to generate business on LinkedIn. For this, I'm gonna have to switch to my other camera because the sun, I love the sun, and it's a sunny day, even though it's a cold day, but it's a sunny day. But the sun is not my friend at the moment, because I want to show you something on this board. Let me see if it shows up. You see, the sun is not my friend with this camera. I'm gonna have to switch to my other camera. It's a bit more sun friendly. Hold on, so give me 2 seconds to swap this mic, and then I'm gonna illustrate something to you that's hopefully gonna help you understand why you're struggling to generate business on LinkedIn. Look, it shows up on this camera, but it doesn't show up on the other camera. Okay, but listen. Have you heard of a concept called the sigmoid curve? Have you heard of the sigmoid curve? If you have, drop a yes in the comments. If you haven't, that's okay, because I'm going to explain this to you. And this relates to why you're possibly struggling to generate business on LinkedIn. Now, the sigmoid curve is a mathematical concept that explains the growth cycles of living things. So it's a maths concept. English is my thing. I was good at maths. I was okay at maths, but English words, that's my thing. So, but when I learned about the sigmoid curve thing, I thought it was super fascinating. That's why I'm sharing it with you. So it's also called the S curve for short, because if you look at, and I have to make sure that this is showing up on the screen. So this is what the sigmoid curve it looks like. So I've got a line here. Oh my God, please don't laugh at my artwork. Don't laugh at my artwork. Okay, that's meant to be a straight line. Okay. And in the straight line, hold on, if I put it this way. Okay, so this is the sigmoid curve. Down here, I'm going to have to do it higher so it can all show in the screen. Give me 2 seconds. Here we go. So down here, we're going to write here time. Yeah? Look at that. I won best handwriting in primary school, believe it or not. Down here, we're going to write, we're going to write performance. So this is performance and this is time. Now the sigmoid curve. So if you look at an S, kind of like it's an S on the side. It's not, there we go, an S on the side. This is why it's called the sigmoid curve, this concept. Now this concept explains pretty much the growth cycle of all living things, whether this is animals, organizations, human beings, personal development like you, us, you and me. And the idea of it is that no growth is forever. No growth is forever. And this curve talks about how growth happens, but no growth is forever. You don't just have something that grows and it just keeps growing, growing, growing. That doesn't happen. No growth is forever. So with the sigmoid curve, what happens is there are three phases of growth. There's the learning phase, there's the growth phase, and then there's the decline phase. This is why you're struggling with LinkedIn. This is why some of you might be struggling with LinkedIn, because when you start learning anything, the learning curve, you can see here, you start at the beginning and it's super slow. I'm trying to go as slow as I can, but it's super slow. So I'm literally going up bit by bit by bit by bit. Imagine this is you on LinkedIn for the first few days, months, weeks, months, super slow. No traction. You're putting posts out. You're getting crickets. No one's responding. Your network is growing by about 10 a month, You've got less than 500 connections and it doesn't seem to be growing any faster. The rate is super slow. Now, this process, which is called the learning, this is the learning part. Yeah, this process is slow. And this is where a lot of people give up on LinkedIn. This is why, if you're struggling to generate business on LinkedIn, this may be why. A lot of people give up at this stage of the process because it is slow. You're not seeing anything. You're planting seeds and you're not getting any results. You're not seeing a harvest. You're putting posts out, nobody's responding. It's discouraging. It really is discouraging. Trust me, I've been there. So, and then you're looking around, you're looking at other people getting tons of engagement, and you're like, that wasn't even a good post. Or is that just me? And you just can't figure out why your posts are not doing that well, why your connections are not growing at a better rate. But listen, this here, as you go through this learning phase on the Sigmoid curve, lots of people drop off. They drop off. They quit LinkedIn. This is about the point that they say, oh, LinkedIn doesn't work. I've tried it and it's not working for me. And then they hop over to Clubhouse or Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, something else. And then the same process starts again, where you hit an obstacle and you jump off and you go somewhere else. So this is one of the reasons why you might be struggling to generate business on LinkedIn, because you are in this learning curve. And some of you watching this, well, if you're watching this, you haven't quit yet, but you were about to quit. You were about to quit because it's too hard. You're about to quit because remember what I said last week about how it's supposed to be easy. And now you're finding that it's not easy. And you're thinking, what is going on? Somebody tricked me, and you're about to quit. And if you quit, you're never going to get the results that you're looking for. So what should you do instead? Press on. Keep on going, because the sigmoid curve, I should write it up here, shouldn't I? In case you want to look it up. I hope I'm spelling this right. Sigmoid curve. Yeah, or the S curve. You can look it up on the internet if you want. So what happens then? So if you persist, if you don't drop off at this place where the learning and the growth is happening and it's super painful and super slow, and you keep on going, you're going to enter into another phase. Now this phase is much more exciting. This is the growth phase. And this, can you see my hands is moving quicker than it was before? The growth phase moves a whole lot quicker. It moves a lot quicker because now you're in your rhythm. You've got your rhythm, you're flowing and it's moving. You're moving quicker. You're now in the growth phase. Growth. This is exciting. This is where now you're seeing people are commenting on your stuff on LinkedIn. Now your network is finally growing. Now, guess what? You're not the one just reaching out to people all the time to connect with them. They are actually coming to you. People are finding you. Your profile views are going up. You're thinking, oh my God, I've hit something. The adrenaline is there because you have momentum. It's exciting. You're doing well. You may have even had, and I have an article on this. Check out my feed on my articles. You see an article about the 5 visibility milestones that you're gonna hit as you proceed on LinkedIn. So to let you know that you're going in the right direction. So you might have hit all those milestones, as many 4 or 5 of them, including somebody asking you about your services, So that's good. You're doing well. This is the growth period on the sigmoid curve. You're in a growth period, and it's exciting, it's fast, and it's great, and it feels good. So what's the problem? And what's that got to do with why you're struggling to generate business on LinkedIn? Okay, good question. I am glad you asked. So what happens now is when you get to this point, something happens, and this is, remember, the sigmoid curve is the law of it is that no growth is permanent. No growth. This is how the cycle of human life, of everything, where no growth is, nothing just keeps on growing and growing and growing. It doesn't happen. What happens is after a while, you reach what is called a plateau. Yeah, the growth stops, and then from there it goes down. So let me rub this out from earlier. I am really, can you still see this on the screen? Is this helping anyone? Drop a yes in the comments if this is helping you. It goes down. From there, it goes down. The growth stops, and you enter into the phase called decline. Yeah, decline. So if I move it that way, you can see my scrolly writing, decline. Yeah, decline. You enter into the decline phase. Now, when you get into this is what happens, because the growth happens, you reach the plateau and you decline. And then it's downhill from there. It's not good news, it's downhill. As you go here, it's downhill from there. Okay? So the reason you struggling, you might be struggling, and this might be some of you in this camp, to generate business on LinkedIn, is that you have reached this phase and you're now on your way down. You're declining. Because up until now, you've been doing this. I'm going to write it here. DIY. Can you see that? DIY. You have been DIYing the whole process. You've been learning things. You've been kind of winging it, as we say in the UK, winging it. You've been winging it. You've been learning on the go. You've been DIYing it. You've been freestyling your way through it, kind of learning as you go along. But what happens is you get to a point where what got you here can't take you to the next level. And the only way that you're going to stop this process, and we're going to put a line here in a plateau, the only way to stop this decline process kicking in this sigmoid curve, is you need an intervention. Something has to happen. An intervention. Oh my God, I can't put it all on the screen, but you know what that says. It says intervention. Something has to happen in order to stop you going down in that phase, for you to keep going up. And that intervention comes in the form of innovation. It comes in the form of a new idea. It comes in the form of a new mindset. And very, very, very practically, it comes in the form of you accessing knowledge that you don't currently have. Because there's only so far you can go with what you know. There's only so far. And if you continue to DIY, all that's going to happen is you're going to go down. Now, this is where someone like a coach comes into it. Yeah, this is where you get help. You get external help, and you employ someone like a coach. I've been doing this LinkedIn coaching business for since close to 2 years. Close to 2 years. Before that, I've been on LinkedIn for about, I think it's since 2008 or something. I don't know, more than 12 years, right? Before that, and LinkedIn was a platform that I used to build my personal brand even while I was in employment, because I always had a side hustle. I had a business on the side, as well as my day-to-day job. My background is journalism. I worked in the media, communications, PR. I had my job and I had my business on the side, but I built my personal brand on LinkedIn. So what I knew got me this far. It got me here, and I got to the growth phase. I was starting to get, an audience. I had about just under 6,000 connections, organic growth. I had occasional posts which would do well. I call them grenade posts, right? Occasional posts which would do well, really well. Some which would just filter out, and it just 1 or 2 likes here, because I posted when I felt like it. I posted when I had something to say, when inspiration hit me. Is that you? Can you? I know that could be. I know a lot of people like that. So you wait for inspiration to hit you before you post. I had zero strategy, zero. I was DIYing everything, and it got me to a certain place, absolutely. But from that place, what happened is the plateau kicks in, and then I started to decline. But what stopped the process was, at this point, early January 2020, I said, you know what? I'm going all in on LinkedIn. because I see the potential that this platform has to grow my business. I see the potential that this platform has for me to generate income and create a business that's going to help people, serve loads of people, and also give me the kind of lifestyle, financial freedom that I want. So I'm going all in. So, intervention. I hired a coach. I worked with a coach. I did loads of trainings. I did workshops. I bought books. I invested massively at that point. And what happens, and I still continue to invest now, I'm always with a coach. 100%. I recommend always having a coach. If you've got vision and you want to grow to any kind of level, always have a coach. So from there, instead of declining in this curve, I started to go up again to the place where now my LinkedIn at the time literally it took me about 12 years to grow up to 6,000 connections in the last less in about 18 months, in the last like it hasn't even been 2 years yet. My connection is now up to like over 24,000 followers, with regular good engagement and stuff. And that's not to say that numbers is everything. The numbers is important because of reach. That's why it's important, not because, oh, look at me, I got 24,000. That's not the point. The point is what took me 12 years to do on my own with intervention, I did 3, 4 times as much better in 2 years, in less than 2 years. And this is what happens. This is the only way that you can stop yourself from declining is that you get intervention before the decline starts. And then when you do, when that intervention comes in, you can keep upwards again. So this is a mistake lots of people make. So just to recap, with the reason that you're struggling, two places people are struggling using the sigmoid curve. The first place is that you're getting stuck in this learning bit, which is super slow. You're quitting and you're giving up because you're not seeing the results. But that's how it is when you're learning anything. You don't just plant I don't know, apples. Is it apple seed? Apple seed in the ground. You don't plant it in the ground and then see the tree tomorrow. It takes time. But so many people give up before the harvest starts to kick in. So that's stage one, why you're struggling. And then the next stage is you get past that and you're resilient and you do well and you start growing. And then you get to the point where it's like you have out everything that you can do in your own power, you've done. The only way you're going to get beyond now is for intervention to come in. That's a new mind, a new system, something that you don't already do. That has to come in at that stage for you to keep going up. Otherwise, the only way for you is down. So I hope this is illustrated for you. I have totally enjoyed using this whiteboard, right? So I hope this has been helpful to you. But as I said, if you want to learn more about things like this, if you want to go deeper on how you can use LinkedIn to build your business, and using without advertising, all of that organic reach, I want you to come along to my LinkedIn Masterclass, which is on next Wednesday. So you can see the details. I'm going to switch back to my other camera now. It's better than this one. But the other one is great for whiteboard stuff. So come along to my LinkedIn Masterclass next Wednesday, the 10th of November, 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock in UK time. It's absolutely free, absolutely free. Go to startbeinvisible.com/masterclass. It's a free ticket. There is an option to upgrade to VIP if you want it, so you can get more time with me, and also we can look at your profile and you get a signed copy of my book, Start Being Visible. So listen, if you are ready, yes, Vanessa says thank you. It's time for intervention. Yes, Vanessa, come along to my masterclass, next Wednesday. And Alison, I have a strategy, but still a bit of a decline. Absolutely. Listen, one of my favorite phrases, I don't know who said it originally. I don't know, but what I think, is it Jim Rohn? It could be Jim Rohn. No, Jim Rohn is good to great, but I don't know. What got you here won't get you there. Is one of the things I like to remind myself. Mill, what got you here won't get you there. If you want to go there, if you want to go to that next level, you have got to do something different. There has to be an intervention, so yes, Alison, absolutely. I can repeat. The LinkedIn Masterclass is next Wednesday. So it's up on the screen right now, Wednesday, the 10th of November. And it's 11 o'clock GMT, our time. And if you go to startbeinvisible.com/masterclass, you can register absolutely free for your ticket. Startbeinvisible.com/masterclass. And I look forward to seeing you there. So I will be back here next Tuesday, because I'm here every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and I want you to be here with me. And there's more. There's I told you I had 10 reasons why you're struggling to generate business on LinkedIn. I've only covered 4 so far out of 2 series, so we're gonna try and cover a bit more next Tuesday. So I invite you to join me, and most of all, I invite you to come and book a place at my free masterclass, and I look forward to helping you even more there. So with that said, I'm going to love you and leave you. Have yourself a great afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it is, whatever time of the world you are. And I will see you again next Tuesday. Bye bye.